And then we'll get underway. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Gabe on your left, Dan.
Dan, with all the excitement from last night and the way the region is so activated, how do you guys leverage that excitement with keeping on task for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think this time of year, being able to focus is a big. It's a big deal. There's a lot of outside commotion, a lot of outside noise, but our guys have done a great job of it and staying focused, and we know that we have to stay focused on the task at hand, and there's still work to do, and so that starts tomorrow, and so that's really been our focus, is getting ready for tomorrow. Good workout today, get our minds back, where we need to be, and we'll be ready come game time tomorrow to play, but it's a challenge, to quiet the outside noise, but these guys have done a really nice job of it all postseason.
Other questions? Go, Jeff.
Can you talk about the benefit of playing the first two games here and getting used to the environment here going into games?
Yeah, having played here during the season, and then I think getting, that's always a little bit of a different environment than postseason environment. So getting a chance to play here, earlier in the season, earlier in the postseason, obviously makes you feel a little bit more comfortable here. We know what to expect. Getting out there again today, get a feel for the environment again. From a playing standpoint, I think was good. Again, our guys, this time of year, you have to do things that that maybe you don't do all the time, and our guys have done that all postseason. They'll be ready to play, come tomorrow, our guys will be focused.
Third row on your right, Dan.
Dan, can you just talk about how Brian came through yesterday and how you might use him the next two games?
Yeah, I think getting a chance to get him out of the bullpen yesterday was big. Again, we were able to go to our bullpen a little bit earlier yesterday, knowing that we had Brian in the wings and available if possible, so getting him in the game I think was big. Getting him out there and comfortable. All those things that are important for a guy coming back from something like he's coming back from. All reports have been good. I think he feels good today. Obviously, a little bit of soreness where you would expect it, but again, this is an exciting time of year, and would expect him to be ready to go, going forward here, out of the bullpen at some point.
And sorry, forgive me if this is already out, but do you have a starter for tomorrow?
Yeah, Logan Gilbert will be on the hill for us tomorrow, Game 6.
Could you just talk a little about what you feel good about sending Logan to the mound in that situation?
Yeah,
the World Series.
Yeah, he had a little bit shorter outing his first time here. We were able to do some things offensively to kind of open it up. Again, just Logan is a guy you love to give the ball to. He's that guy that has that focus, that desire to win, and he wants the ball in these situations. And so, you love giving him the ball. Like with all our guys, this is a group that really, in terms of our starters. They really feed off of one another, and they help each other. And Logan is a guy that just really has learned that mental approach to pitching, and he's a guy that's just wants the ball, wants to challenge you, and he's ready for tomorrow for sure.
In the back on the left center aisle.
Yeah, hi Dan. Have your impressions of Guerrero changed at all? And what did you make of Shohei's performance last night?
Yeah, I mean, incredible performance. Unprecedented, really, to see what Shohei did, on the mound and at the plate. He just, it's just, almost unfathomable to think that one person was capable of that, and just a great ball game for him. Congratulations to the Dodgers for advancing. So, that's a history making game for sure. In terms of Guerrero, he's a great hitter, and he's a guy in that lineup that is, one that can do a lot of damage. And so you certainly, you have to measure that, and when you go into game planning, you have to understand that. And so that certainly is something that we've talked about, and going forward, that's a spot that he continues to swing the bat well. So something we have to pay attention to.
Second row on your right, Dan.
Hey, Dan. It's pretty clear that the Mariners and the Blue Jays, not just you and John Schneider, but all the players seem to have a lot of respect, even admiration for each other. How does that dynamic shape this series where there's so much, mutual respect?
Yeah, I think both teams, in some ways very similar. The teams that like to, play hard 1 through 9, and I think that's where the respect comes from. Certainly, that's what this series has played out so far. But I think that's the exciting part of the postseason. That's what we're here for, is the competition and guys going at it hard. And it's certainly been a good series so far, and I think that's a big reason why.
Other questions for Dan? Gabe?
Reliever exposure has been such a talking point in both series. When you get to a game 6, does that maybe go out the window a little bit just because everybody's seen everybody, and at this point you just want your best guy on their best guy? Or do you keep that in mind?
I mean, that's a good question, and I think in some ways we've been fortunate a little bit in order that we've had some we had a couple innings from Brian Wu. We had a couple games where we were able to open it up offensively, as did Toronto. And so you didn't see some of the higher leverage guys. So, but yeah, I mean, I think this is a time of year again where you're trying to go your best against their best, and you see how that plays out, and I think we've had some really good matchups here in this series, and I think that it continues to look that way as we go forward.
Any questions for Dan? Yeah. Front.
You saw with trade substitution Yankees, and you guys handled it pretty well here. What are the keys to getting it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were able to put some pitches on them early. See, we were fairly patient when we had to be. I think that was a big key for us. And then, when we were able to get pitches that we were able to hit, we were able to do something with them. And again, that's a big part of the postseason is being able to generate the offense when you have the opportunities. And we certainly were able to do that the first time around, and that's what we'll be looking to do again this time around.
Anything else for Dan? All right, Dan, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. With Jeff, we'll get you the microphone.
Logan, what's it mean to you to start a potential clinching game and have the opportunity to send your team to the World Series?
Yeah, it's huge. It's been such a long year. Just to get to this point is amazing, but to be the one to have the ball, and you grow up dreaming of moments like this, and you don't know how many you'll get over the course of your career. Some guys never get this, so it's a really big deal, and hopefully just contribute to the team.
Fourth row on your far left, Brian.
Logan, how much do you think it helped you getting back in your regular routine now after pitching in the 15-inning game?
Yeah, it's nice. A lot of us, first time doing different things. Woo, the other day, Bryce on short rest. So that's the playoffs, and that's kind of the fun of it too. But we're kind of creatures of habit too. So it's nice being back in the normal routine, and even pitching here last time and now coming back here. So just a little familiarity.
How tough was it to bounce back from that?
Arm, health and all that. It was fine. It wasn't too bad. I think there's so much adrenaline now. So like the day after, you kind of pay the price a little bit because it's masked or whatever from the adrenaline. But it's also a good thing that anytime you're out there, you usually feel pretty good. So honestly, it really wasn't too bad.
Left center in the back, Keegan.
As you've looked at the Blue Jays lineup again over this week, what is the identity when you look at them compared to an average lineup? Like, what's their thing that you really have to attack?
Well, I mean, identity-wise, I think they're the lowest in strikeouts in the league, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, that sticks out for sure. Most of their lineups fairly aggressive, but I mean, things to attack, I can't really say too much, but I think it's nice to know the other team. It's nice to know maybe strengths or weaknesses, but I think as a pitcher, you always have to know what we do really well, what our identity is too, and any small adjustments to make to the other team, it's worth considering. But for the most part, we kind of do what we do to make us successful.
Go across the aisle to Mitch.
Kind of on that, your rotation attacks the zone a lot. They're very aggressive, make a lot of contact. What is the cat and mouse game of kind of staying in the zone and balancing your aggression with their aggression?
Yeah, that's a good point. We've seen that a lot this series, and it's somewhere in the middle. I think you know the situation of the game, too. We never want to shy away from what we do, and getting good counts is huge, but also knowing there's some freedom to go to our spots when we have those situations, and there's been some discussions about that, just from other starters or guys that have gotten in the game, what they've seen, too. So it's definitely – it's not one or the other, it's somewhere in the middle, but I think it's kind of situational, too.
And then what is kind of the emotions after last night's win, the flight coming here today? Like, when does yesterday's game kind of get put in the rear view? How does it kind of linger into today for you?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, so much excitement. That's an all-time game. Like, we'll be talking about that decades from now, and just to be a part of it, it's like be there to watch as a fan almost is crazy. But we're still a long ways away. Like, we're 9 long innings away from where we want to be, and I think everybody gets that. There was no panic after losing 1 or 2 at home, and I don't think there was like this unbelievable high that we can't get past either. I think this team's been really good, especially in the playoffs, of being just present, like today, this game. That's all there is, and I think that's hopefully going to continue.
Go to the fourth row on the right side here.
Hi. You guys intentionally walked Vladdy twice yesterday. I was wondering, as the pitcher, how disappointing is you when you get those marching orders rather than wanting to attack him, coming in with your best stuff?
I mean, he's a good hitter, so like I said earlier, a lot of stuff's situational, but it's fun, too, in the moment. Like, this is stuff you dream of. If there's guys on base and Vlad's up to bat, he's one of the best hitters in the league, so it's not probably the ideal situation, but in a moment like this, it's kind of just everybody out there is the ultra competitor and wants situations where everything's on the line. Sometimes it goes great, sometimes it doesn't. But it's fun having amazing hitters up in the box or facing really good lineups, because it's like this is the kind of stuff you dream of. It's where you really get to find out about yourself. With that said, it's not the worst pitching around him sometimes, too, to get to the next guy.
Second row on your right, Logan.
Hey, Logan. It seems like there's a lot of mutual respect between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. How has that shaped the dynamic of this series compared to maybe more heated series?
Yeah, I think, there's just the history going back the last few years, at least when I've been here in the Wild Card Series, and we always have really competitive games during the season. Their fans travel really well to Seattle, unfortunately, so there's a lot of that too. But I think we both know that we both seem to play really complete brands of baseball, I would say, from pitching, defense, hitting. Like, it's not just 1 or 2 players going out there. So I think we kind of see a little bit of each other and ourselves, maybe. And I can't speak for everyone, but that's just the kind of opinion I have. So I know that they're in a really tough division, too, and they've put themselves on the map, especially this year with what they're doing. So there's definitely some respect there.
Third row on your left, Gabe.
Hey, Logan. You mentioned adrenaline. Is that something that can be managed or even leveraged in your favor when you have a night like last night? And what's that balance like between trying to do that with staying on task with the 9 innings ahead of you guys?
Yeah, in the moment, it's a huge balance. The playoffs is so much momentum based that I think you have to ride with the momentum. And moments like Gino's home run, Cal's home run, that stuff's huge. But actually, in the moment, the adrenaline's great for your body, your sharpness of your mind, that kind of stuff. But you don't ever want to try too hard, really, in the moment. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you have to know that even in the biggest moment in the playoffs, you have to do the exact same thing the same way that you've been doing the whole season. And I think we've seen that with a lot of our guys and the way they treat big situations. Gino's probably the best example of he knows exactly what makes him successful, not trying to overdo it. He said that in his post-game presser, I think, and just keeping it simple, and that's what helps us out in the moment.
And how did that plane ride rate on the scale of everybody's sleeping versus everybody's still kind of amped up?
On the plane?
Yeah.
I don't think there was much sleeping. After a game like that, it's tough. But like I said, you got to ride the momentum when it's there.
Other questions for Logan? Yeah, third row on your right.
Logan, I'm not sure whether you saw Dave Roberts kind of lean in a little last night after the win about the ruining of baseball that his team has been accused of. He said something like, let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. I'm just wondering, do you feel like that, is there any truth in that statement? What do you think of the accusations of the Dodgers ruining baseball?
I didn't see that one. That's a question I want to be maybe careful about what I say, but honestly, I don't have anything bad to say. I think it's just a very loaded issue right now. I think it's great when really good players get paid a lot of money. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's fun for the people in it, at least. I don't know what fans think really, but if we're fortunate enough to win one more game, I think it's exactly what you dream of. And the hundreds of years of baseball, like, this could be the best team ever in the Dodgers that we could get to go against. Like, that's the opportunity you dream of. So I personally, I think it's great, but I don't know what other people think.
Do a couple more up front here, right?
Along those lines, what are your thoughts on what Shohei Ohtani did last night as a pitcher and a hitter?
Unbelievable. I mean, he's, I think, by far the best player that's ever played the game. I know that other people have different opinions too, but in the moment too, like, that's a clinching game in the NLCS against a really good team, a first place team, and he can go and do things like that where he just kind of sets himself up above the rest of the competition, even elite players on the same stage. So it is really fun to watch. I don't love watching home run highlights, but I mean, it is fun to see what he's doing.